out one night to make a little round. I met little Sadie and I shot her down. Went back home, jumped into bed, 44 pistol under my head. I woke up in the morning about 9:30. Hacks in the buggy standing in line. Jets and gamers standing around.
Estimus? Ellie.
I began to think way deep down about the pain and the night. Made up my just to see. It took me into the cold.
Glenn from The Walking Dead.
I hate these things.
Tell me about it.
Your old man really laid into me today.
What happened?
Another big lecture about my patrols. Don't go here, don't go there. It's funny how involved he gets whenever you're scheduled to go out.
Yeah.
She's putting on quite the show.
I give you guys 2 weeks until you're back together.
Not gonna happen. She say something to you?
Make it 1 week. Ellie! Hey! What took you so long? Oh, I'm here, aren't I?
Tina?
Jesse.
Hey, don't forget we leave at first light, so get some rest.
Yes, sir. Such a dick. Come on. Why don't you start with me? Okay, I have a very serious question for you. How bad do I smell? Like a hot pile of garbage? Oh. Okay. Oh. How about that? Gross. You love it. Every guy in this room is staring at you right now. Maybe they're staring at you. Or not. Maybe they're jealous of you. I'm just a girl, not a threat. Oh, Ellie. I think they should be terrified.
Jesus. That's the girl.
They are mastered with sin.
What is Breathe. Holy shit! Oh, no! No, no!
Oh my god.
Spread out.
Two arrows. Ooh. Damn. Oh!
The animation is awesome.
She went into the grass. Watch yourself. Ethan.
What?
Wolf. She came through here. Damn it. Double back. Go.
Oh! Oh, that was awesome. She's got like an arrow stuck in her shoulder too. No, she got no bullets, no knives, no arrows, no.
Doesn't have
There's an arrow. Oh, nice. Explosive arrow or a fire arrow. Some crap.
Oh! Yes! Ow.
There's a bunch of arrows.
Oh!
Between the eyes.
Oh my god. Oh! Nice.
See, I told you. He should be terrified.
Nice.
That was a new look at The Last of Us Part 2. We're here live in Los Angeles at the PlayStation E3 Showcase. We're taking a quick intermission while folks move along to the next part of the experience. We'll have a little bit more to share on that later. And I am joined by my good friend, Ryan Clements.
Hello, Mr. Schumann.
How are you?
I'm good. It's such a pleasure to be here at the PlayStation Showcase. And it's going to be a huge night for Worldwide Studios a little later when the showcase resumes. And what better guest to have for joining us about Worldwide Studios than the chairman of Worldwide Studios, Mr. Sean Layden. Hello,
guys.
sir.
Yeah, good to be here.
I thought you were just on stage. How did you get up here so fast?
We created this pneumatic tube that I was dropped into and
flung
shot right across to the studio here.
Right
Yes.
over here. Well, it's
Yes.
good to have you here.
Well, it's
sir.
great to be here, and I think that was a very powerful start for our E3 program for this year.
That's right, and there's much more to come, but I do want to zero in on The Last of Us Part 2 here
Yeah.
just for a moment. You know, as chairman of Worldwide Studios, you work very closely with Naughty Dog. These guys need no introduction.
Indeed.
And I'm curious, from your perspective, where is their head at when it comes to developing this game?
Where's their head at? I mean, they are everywhere. They're looking at what can do in the next iteration of the Last of Us series, and I think what we saw tonight, I mean, that piece of content was so impactful. I mean, the whole relationship between Ellie and Dina going into the combat sequence really shows that they're pulling out all the stops over at Naughty Dog, and they're going to have a very broad and ranging game that's not going to make you only work at it as a player, but you're going to have to just think as a person what you're coming up against.
And I can't wait to see more of that. That was first gameplay we saw there of The
Yeah.
Last of Us Part 2, looking obviously incredible. And speaking of incredible, I mean, Worldwide Studios lately, I mean, it's just been unbelievable. Horizon, you had God of War, which needs no introduction, and Detroit Become Human. I mean, what is the secret, and what are you doing over there at Worldwide Studios? What's going on there?
The rule number one is do no harm, right? Right. In a lot of ways, my job is just to move the boulders out of the road to make sure that creative talent can get where they need to go. You know, provide backup, provide scope. You know, provide generalized, advice about where we can take this as an industry and as a gaming culture. But honestly, we've got 13 studios worldwide. We try to give them as much creative control as possible and just help support them through to their vision. That's kind of what we've been trying to do here for the last dozen years or so with Worldwide Studios. And I think right now, certainly in the PS4 era, you're seeing a lot of that coming into play right now.
That's great to hear that. And, I mean, speaking about making fans happy, I mean, I think there's a question that I've been getting a whole lot, and it has to do with God of War. You know, it's
Right.
a celebrated game. It's sold extremely well. It has a huge legion of fans. And one of the things I wanted to mention was, I get a lot of tweets about New Game Plus.
Right.
You know, is this something that you and Santa Monica Studio are evaluating for God of War?
You know, it's crazy. with the advent of social media, we get a lot of real-time feedback from the fans and the community, and we listen to that. And God knows my Twitter feed is filled up with a lot of stuff that we could talk about here or not talk about at all. But it's all important. We take it all seriously. And New Game Plus is something that came through really strong and really hard through that kind of feedback loop. And I'm happy to say today that the teams are working on it, and we should have some more updates on that. We'll put that through the blog, but it's going to happen.
All right.
Definitely.
As someone who miraculously finished God of War with a 2-year-old at home, that makes me very happy. I will somehow find more
scary,
time.
but okay.
I will find time to keep. He wasn't watching.
Okay, thank God.
I want to confirm that.
Kids don't try this at home.
Asleep. But yeah, thank you so much, Sean. And it's great to hear that you and the amazing team at Santa Monica Studio are making that happen.
Hey, if we can create functionality and features that allow people to spend more time in the worlds we build, that's by definition a good thing.
Excellent.
Fantastic. So New Game Plus, that is confirmed. That is coming to God of War. We'll have full details on PlayStation Blog shortly. We have a lot more to talk about too.
Yeah, and actually, Sean, I wanted to ask you about that. About a month ago, you did something a little bit out of the ordinary for our team, and you kind of came out and talked about the 4 main games that we would be highlighting tonight's PlayStation Showcase. I was wondering what the thought process was there.
Well, you know, every year we try to let the stories we have to tell design the experience we're going to create. And this year we felt that what we really want to do is take people on a journey deep into the content, deep into the 4 big pillar games that we're working on right now, and get them to see a bit more about the stories you're trying to tell and the way it's going to be expressed and what they get out of it. It's a really wide range of titles there, anything from The Last of Us 2, which you saw right now, through Death Stranding and Spider-Man and Ghost. So this year I wanted people to know that don't come here expecting to have some big flashy new idea come out or some big surprise come out. Come here and sit with us and walk with us as we get through to see the background stories and deep inside of the games we're working on.
Wonderful. And we do have a lot more coming from those Worldwide Studios games in the showcase later tonight. Do you have any personal games that you're most excited about?
Well, they're all fabulous, and I think the teams are really crushing it right across the board.
Fair enough.
But one thing I would say is there's one of the games that we're having out today that will be playable in 3 months and available in stores, and that's our favorite web slinger,
of course,
Spider-Man. So we're going to see a lot of that tonight, and I think the folks at home should be happy with what they're going to get.
Awesome. Thank you, Sean.
Sean, thank you so much for dropping by. Always a pleasure to trade notes with the chairman of Worldwide Studios.
It's great to see you guys. I'll head back to the pneumatic tube station then.
All right, please do.
All right.
And
wear the helmet.
We do have a lot more in store coming up in just a few minutes as the E3 showcase continues. But in the meantime, we also have some other updates for you while we wait during this short intermission. So I say we kick it off with a look at the latest from the world of Call of Duty.
Return the mask. Jungle. Admit. Run off this bullet and the maps. And yeah, it's the maps. Oh. Wrangle. I said range and I said wrangle.
Access to Back in Black maps in Call of Duty Black Ops 3 only when you pre-order Call of Duty
I don't
Black
know how to
Ops 4 from
read.
PlayStation Store.
Welcome back. We are having the PlayStation E3 showcase kicking off in just a few more minutes. We're in a short intermission period here, but we've got some good stuff to talk about. We've got some good friends as well.
Yeah.
Meredith Molinari and Ramon Russell. Welcome.
What's happening?
That's
Good
right.
to have you guys back.
It's good to be back.
Friendly faces right before the showcase.
Absolutely.
Yeah, excellent.
So I say we keep this moving here, and when it comes to Call of Duty, we know that a bunch of remastered maps from Black Ops 1 and Black Ops 2 are making their way to Call of Duty Black Ops 4 this October on launch day. But what we just learned here is that those maps, those classic maps, are coming to Black Ops 3 as well for those who pre-order Black Ops 4 on PlayStation Store.
Oh, that's pretty awesome. But what if I don't own Call of Duty Black Ops 3?
Well, that's where it gets a little more interesting, my friend.
Oh.
So tonight, we are actually doing a surprise PlayStation Plus game drop, and that is going to be Black Ops 3. Black Ops 3 is coming to PlayStation Plus later tonight.
Yes.
Oh, that's awesome.
Yes, very nice. This is why I love E3, because not only do we get to share awesome news with our audience, but PlayStation Plus subscribers get a little treat.
Get a little extra
little tasty treat.
Right, little mid E3 supply drop for
yeah,
you there.
there you go. Perfect.
You know, we've been sharing a lot of
He
good
does
news.
all
We got
the,
to share 5
MLB The Show
really cool
stuff.
announcements last week when we did our countdown, kind of
community manager.
ramping up for tonight's big showcase.
That's right. We had the countdown to E3, and that was 5 game reveals and updates over a span of 5 days. A lot of great stuff announced. Let's take a quick look back at the highlights.
I like this intro. Right. Tetris. Whoa. I will he's fucking nice. I will name you Fluffy.
What is this?
Blind choice.
I have to figure out what happened. Okay, wake up. Focus. Remember.
From the creators of Fee and Flipping Death.
You look like you've seen a ghost.
That's the spirit. Comes a heartfelt story in VR.
But really, who are you?
Welcome back. We're just a few minutes away from the E3 PlayStation Showcase. I mean, when I say a few minutes, I mean we're really So let's keep moving here. There was a lot of great stuff here. Oh, and we could see the crowd is seated. The people are about ready to go. This show's about to continue, about to move into the big event.
Yeah, it was great to see the countdown stuff, but I do think that there's like maybe one more thing we can sneak in there before we cut away to the showcase.
Yeah. Yeah, let's squeeze it in. Let's squeeze it in. Okay, so this next franchise boasts a huge loyal community of nearly 6 billion hours. Incredible stat.
Yeah, they play that so much.
A lot.
They do. And we're going to take a first look at the next chapter right now.
Messed it. Whoa, Kate messed up. No, he has a voice for him. He has one.
Really?
This better be good, because it sucks. Even though I play it a lot. It's not very good.
Just a couple victims of this
Minnesota, I tell you.
Am I strong enough to let things just die? Just to keep the spark alive. But if there's nothing on the other side,
Man.
why can't I leave well enough alone and go to the light?
That better be good. Please be good.
Yeah, that was a powerful new look at Destiny 2. Forsaken is coming out September 4th on PS4. A lot of great enhancements and content for that one. And
yeah, it looks really good. There's a lot of buzz about that Gambit mode coming up, and guess what? If you're at E3, you can play it at our booth.
Yeah.
not too bad.
But
not too bad.
there's barely any time because we're about to get to the showcase.
That's right. We are really seconds away when it comes down to it from the rest of PlayStation's E3 showcase. Thank you so much for watching. We've got a lot more
Here, I'll
in store
scoot here.
tonight.
Just
but
wait.
for now,
I think it's almost time.
I think it's almost time. Should we get to it?
I think why keep people waiting? Let's get to it. We have so much more to cover.
Okay. Got a lot more in store. So let's check it out live right now.
Oh, this might be Ghost of Tsushima.
Yeah, I'm dancing to the flute.
Raiden gets a hobby. Hi, JD.
Temple's close.
Oh, I got it. Thank you.
Is he on here?
Well received. That's him. That's him talking right there.
Hi.
Giving constructive criticism as always.
Hi.
What happens when you're friends with somebody since 5? It looks great. Graphics look great.
Nobu, come!
Just cut somebody's head off. Easy.
Kind of reminds me of Red Dead. Riding a horse and stuff.
How many games you ride a horse in? 3.
Just for some reason, it just makes me think of that specific game.
It's like the only one you played like.
Where are they?
Here we go.
Bastards! Enough! Was next samurai. Arshoneg. Artsan gesh podos batium. Ni turquai minich!
Let's go! Oh!
Go chop chop.
Ooh.
Okay.
Jin, you're late.
You're impatient. Where's the monk?
The bastards beat me to him. Now they're torturing him at the temple.
Come on.
You think the monk's a hero?
We need him, Masako. Down.
We could take them.
No. Remember Sago Bridge. We strike quietly. And they kill the monk.
Yeah. I noticed. Look at my pizza. I got it. I'm just kidding.
I'll guard the exits.
There.
En amaran la husis. Nima unos. Chuni orok sushi mag. I had the stuff aflopan. Please, I do not understand. Uldathwi, chamakotun hami. Urthmi che yaven sagt. Chi obelat no.
Oh! What? There's your action for you. Okay.
He called reinforcements. We have to move.
I kill it. Can I borrow your sword, please? Yeah.
Of admit of doom.
Yes. Of admit of doom. Oh my.
Masako!
Stand aside, Jin. You betrayed my family.
Run! If we fight, the Mongols win.
They already won.
What's up, Sam? Play your Fortnite.
Friend.
Give me
coming? That's our enemy.
Ooh.
Pretty damn good. It's like the Assassin's Creed Japan we should have, but haven't gotten.
The oldest house.
Tenshu, yeah. Yeah, it's kind of got that feel.
There are rules and rituals. You can keep traveling deeper.
Okay, hi, Doctor.
Never heard of that. Remedy, huh?
2019.
A lot of the stuff's gonna be next year.
Ooh, the mouse.
Ah, it's an old PlayStation.
You have the same exact one. Don't wear a mouse.
Relax, calm down. You can't be here.
I respect you. Whoa.
I'm putting you under arrest. Stay back, sir. I've got this. Officer, you need help? What are you doing? Get off. No. Get off of me.
Resident Evil 2 remake.
Resident.
Jesus Christ.
Money's in my account. Always a pleasure.
Attention, all citizens. Due to the citywide outrage.
And don't make my mistake. If you see one of those things, uniform or not, you do not hesitate.
Whatever it takes to save this city.
Surprised you made it this far.
Need info on my extraction. Survival's your responsibility.
God damn it.
Will you help me?
Of course. It's an impressive display of strength. But we never meant for this to happen.
It's coming. It's coming back.
Yes.
Nice.
Oh, thank you. Finally. Oh, that was awesome. They announced that 3 years ago, and that's the first they've showed of it. It comes out in January. Great.
I'm Scotch Games. I'm the co-creator of Rick and Morty.
Hey, what's up, everybody? I'm Bathtub Guy, and we're here at E3 to take some looks
What
at
is
this
this?
new game I'm going to show you right now. Trover Saves the Universe. Let's give it a look. Oh, whoa, there's some action platforming stuff in this little piece of shit. I'm the Bathtub Guy. I'm always in my bathtub, but, you know, that's not about me right now. It's about this game. Whoa, look at that. That's exciting footage I just saw. Oh, I'm playing it right now. Look at me. I'm a cool cucumber over here playing this cool game. Jesus Christ! Oh my God! Somebody call 711 because that's the emergency dial number for this in this weird part of the galaxy. Because this is a sci-fi based thing. Help! He's got electrocuted.
He's smiling. I really like this game.
Yo ho, a pirate's life for me.
Why
are you so happy? 'Cause we get to be pirates again.
Yep, you always did like this world.
Still,
Kingdom Hearts 3.
it's a
This is
real
the one
shame
Mommy
we
likes.
don't have a bigger ship.
So,
Like Final Fantasy, but with Disney characters.
do they give me that?
Yeah. Oh. Like they go into like a Toy Story land and then they look like they're made like just like action figures. They got like Pirates of the Caribbean, they've got Tangled, they've got Frozen worlds that you go into.
You back in the organization?
Yes. Surprising, isn't it?
Jack, don't you give this creep the time of day.
Sora, stand down. It's the code.
Mustn't strike a pirate aboard ship when said pirate offers to confabulate.
I'm looking for a box.
You know, Johnny Depp or Johnny Depp impersonator? Yes, either you Hercules and then your characters look like that art style too.
Arendelle is safer with me staying up here.
That was so popular. And
Please, go away!
And the unversed collected enough screams and sadness from those children.
Yeah, and the whole time they were trashing our company in the process!
You're following her.
Maybe she's one of the 7 pure lights we need. The new 7 hearts.
Now, set your heart free.
And at the end, you'll finally realize what destiny has in store for you. In fact, your reward might be right around the corner.
Hey, Axel.
Why does he look like a human version of Knuckles from Sonic?
Cut your hair, too.
I never played the first 2. Mom was always into it.
This is like more of an anime style?
No, I mean, I always
style.
took it as like it was like
I like the anime style. At least it's not like far into it.
oh, yeah,
What?
cool.
What?
Like Kingdom Hearts 3 and then like a couple different like spin-off games, all packaged in one.
What is that?
Oh, it's gotta be Death Stranding. Kojima!
Wait, is it about baby?
Nobody knows what this game is about yet.
The man who delivers.
Is there a baby?
Chiral allergy. So, you have dooms like me. What's your level?
I've got the extinction factor, but I think you got me beat.
You can see them, right?
No, but I can sense them.
Wanna come work for me? Must be tough out here on your own.
I can't help you with that. I make deliveries. That's all.
Carrying a body. Looks pretty.
Could be from that girl from the picture that got history sound. Found her. I could not do that.
Most of his trailers never make sense.
person who creates this stuff?
Yeah, he always puts out these really like
Random.
eccentric trailers, and then garbage.
Let's grow wherever it is. Oh, there are bodies.
Headed into town. Watch yourself. Those things never stay gone for long. The timefall fast forwards whatever it touches, but it can't wash everything away. The past just won't let go. I'll see you around. Sam Porter Bridges.
Sam, what's your status? Chiralium density is still increasing.
My status is fucked. There's tons of them.
Can you sit out the rain?
No, they're closing in on my position. I have to move before they realize I'm in here.
Sam, if one of those things eats you, it'll trigger
Hi, people.
Get out of the camera chair. I'm coming right back.
I got an idea.
Oh my god. There's a baby inside that thing. Oh, baby.
Like,
Bunch of brains.
A cryptobite a day keeps the timefall away.
You're too late. You still don't know who I am, do you?
Who are you?
Yow. Please. What are the meaning of those?
The raft is secure, but I can't
Spider-Man.
reach them over radio.
Yes,
Their
okay.
comms must be down. What's your status?
Already here.
Yuri? I thought you said it was secure.
It was. Let's go. Maybe it's not as bad as it looks.
Love the optimism. But in my experience, when it looks bad, it's usually worse.
Electro?
Look out! Hold on! You okay?
Yeah.
Welcome to the party! Just in time for the fireworks! Looks like we made parole, boys! I'm out!
Electro, why is he letting everyone out?
I'll head for the main control center and see how bad the situation is.
Got it. I'll go join the party. Everyone just quietly go back into your cells and lock the door behind you. Okay? Please?
Get him down here!
Like fish in a barrel.
Catastrophic event detected.
That doesn't sound good. Oh, hi, Rhino.
Hope you like surprise, Spider!
Surprise? What is he talking about?
Hey, what's your status?
Me? Just trapped in a prison with every criminal I've put away in the last 8 years. No biggie.
Electro must be working for someone.
This is too good to be true.
Scorpion, can you hold on a minute? I was in the middle of a phone call and it was busy.
Charge him! Don't let up!
Lost you for a second there. You okay?
Not really. Electro, Rhino, and now Scorpion are all on the loose. What's going on in the rest of the prison?
Camera system's almost down. I'll give you a sit rep soon.
Okay, I'll keep tracking Electro.
Come on, Spider-Man! I thought this was a chase!
Gotta stop this guy. tell me who you're working for, I'll go easy on you.
Can't stop me. But I'm flattered that you still try.
Nobody ever takes me up on that offer.
Vulture.
Vulture? Long time no see. We're going to have so much fun.
Sorry, no time to talk.
Okay, I got the security cameras back online.
How's it going?
We're going Sinister 6, Dr. Octopus. Can pop up.
He's looking for 5 of your worst enemies that are now on the loose.
For a second there, I thought you were serious.
I am serious. I have to go. Some of them are heading into the city.
This is nuts.
Keep chasing. Party's almost over.
Electro, stop!
How do you like my new suit?
Dashing. Where'd you get it?
It's an exclusive club. Remember, he said not to kill him.
Good idea. In fact, we don't have to do this at all if you don't want to.
Oh, come on. No, it's probably Green Goblin or Doc Ock.
Ellie. I think they should be terrified of you.
You do not hesitate.
I think that was the end. The count.
That was the PlayStation E3 showcase. A lot to take in. There was a ton of great Worldwide Studios titles. We actually got a little more to share here. Coming right up, we're going to have first live gameplay of Marvel Spider-Man right here, just a couple of minutes. We have a new game to announce.
Thank you.
We have some other stuff to talk about too. What a show.
Oh my gosh.
Top highlights, go. Oh,
There's no time.
Oh my goodness, Ghost of Tsushima looked absolutely incredible. That color palette was insane. Yeah.
Did you grow up with samurai movies?
Absolutely.
Yeah? Yeah.
Ready.
It's just the embodiment.
I'm ready. Sucker punch. Thank you. Meredith.
Resident Evil 2. Come on, RE2. That looked so good. I know a lot of us fans have been waiting for that one. And there was like a moment where you're like, I'm not really sure I know what this is. And then as soon as he turned his head, I was like, yes!
And you get that, that
so good.
RE4 style over-the-shoulder camera action. It's kind of like the ultimate dream if they were going to remake Resident Evil 2. That's what I would want. So awesome stuff.
Yeah.
Ryan?
Nice and gory.
Yeah,
As Meredith said backstage, Death Stranding. We now have more questions.
Yes.
More questions.
More
but
questions.
It looks as if, I mean, I don't want to make any promises, but it looks as if we were getting kind of an allusion to a lot of gameplay in there, and kind of what the character of Sam is going to be doing in this very unusual world that is inhabited by some very unusual and scary things.
And people consume strange and unusual
bugs.
That was...
Babies continue to be a theme.
Yeah, it wasn't a myth.
Don't know what we're going to find out there, but yeah.
So a ton of great stuff in the show overall. I mean, Neo 2, that was a crowd pleaser. That was one that was great to see get out there. We got an update on Kingdom Hearts 3. We got a lot of other great stuff. We had a new Remedy game. Remedy's on the way. Control. Really stylish trailer, really looking to I want to learn more about that one. I mean, it just looks like wizards and I don't know what I was looking at, but it was really stylish. I would expect no less from Remedy. But I got to say, I think my favorite was Marvel's Spider-Man. Spider-Man looked that was incredible. We have these legendary villains are back. We had Rhino, Electro, Vulture. I'm missing some. Who else are there? I mean, just one after another. That was Electro.
So
Spider-Man was not in a good space. No, it was pretty rough. It was pretty rough. So we're going to see live gameplay of that in just a minute or two here. But I say we actually take this moment to announce a new game. What do you think?
Let's do it.
Okay, do it.
So nonchalant.
Hits keep coming.
Yeah.
So you guys know From Software.
Absolutely. I'm aware of them.
They have created a lot of great games over the year. Well, they have been busy working on a PlayStation VR game.
Oh, VR.
And it is quite a departure from the kinds of games that we sort of know them for, but it's very, very interesting, and I'd like to see the first footage of that right now.
Aren't you excited? You're going to be a fairy. And live in the world where time stands still. Where nobody can see what you're up to ever again.
Okay, Decine, that's From Software's new title coming to PlayStation VR. Quite a departure, very artistic. Still don't know a ton about how it actually plays yet, but certainly a compelling debut, I would say. And speaking of compelling, Let's get to that Spider-Man. It is time.
We have some folks from Insomniac
We surely
here.
do.
Brian, Adam, gentlemen,
Hey,
welcome
how
to
you
the
guys doing?
program. It's so great to have you here. I just have to say, first of all, thank you guys for giving us your time.
Of course. Yeah, of course. Happy to be here.
And also, congratulations, kind of closing out some of the show there with Marvel Spider-Man. How does it feel?
It's surreal. We've been working on it for a while, so it's nice to be here. And obviously, we showed you. People wanted villains, so we decided we'll give you a lot of villains. And, now, and the next question is, can we play the open world? And Adam's gonna show off the New York City.
I mean, I don't know, Sid. What do you think?
Let's dive in.
Yeah,
What are we talking about here?
Adam.
Get in there.
So we're going to boot up the demo here, and this is essentially one of the first playable demos that you guys are going to be showing off.
Yeah,
of Spider-Man.
pretty much. So I mean, if you think about,
Go ahead, Adam.
Yes, the game is. You know, a lot of people were like, last year's E3 was like, well, was that like just a linear level? No, like that was our Manhattan, that's our New York City, and it happened to be like a main story mission. But in between, like something like you saw on the raft, or we showed that back at last E3, you can just swing
got
around.
the wires crossed there, it sounds like.
Let's go to that footage because we have it running on the main monitor. We'll go to it in just a second. This is the beauty of the live environment.
Yeah, this. Oh God.
This is great. I got my own little TV. This is perfect.
Yeah, I got it all.
Adam's doing a fantastic job so far. It's been really good.
So first of all, you're actually playing this right now.
Yeah. That's right.
And I do want to emphasize how beautiful this game is.
Oh, thank you.
But yeah, Brian, tell me a little bit about what you guys want to show us this evening.
So I think, the big thing is, again, I think the part of the Spider-Man fantasy is to swing around New York City and, to have, not only just a great story, but have a bunch of different activities in that world. And we wanted to, give people who attend E3 an opportunity to experience that. So, obviously it's a big narrative-driven experience, but at the same time, part of that superhero fantasy, especially that Spider-Man experience, is living within New York City and seeing that. So, Adam is he's one of our combat pro players because he's a combat designer, and again, he's just showing off some really awesome stuff that as you get better at the game, obviously, we wanted to have a pick up and play feel, but at the same time, have a level of mastery and to really show off the improvisation that we've really been talking about a lot since we announced the game.
I'm digging this, like sticking dudes to walls and to the floor and stuff. That looks really satisfying.
I think the thing that's been really fun in these last, I would say last 6 months since we got back from the holiday break was every week I feel like I'll take the game home or I'll be playing one night and then I'll come in and say, wow, guys, I didn't know you could do that. So I think there's a lot of that, there's that sandbox nature to it as well. So, I mean, obviously you can, we have, we're going to teach you mechanics, but we want you to experiment with, his acrobatics, his webs, his gadgets, his suit powers. So combining all that stuff really allows for a lot of different gameplay and a lot of, Spider-Man's a very expressive character, and we want players to be able to express that, whether it's in traversal or in combat.
It's gorgeous.
These animations, these animations are just blowing my mind.
Your studio has kind of been renowned for character animation and for, just fluid motion. I mean, did you guys take a lot of lessons from your previous games and really like hone in on those when you were developing
I mean, I think animation's definitely been one of the hallmarks of our company, from Spyro to Ratchet to Sunset Overdrive.
Yep.
And I mean, I remember when the Sunset Overdrive reviews came out, one person actually wrote, it would be great to see Insomniac make a Spider-Man game. And I was like, see, we should make it.
See?
And
I think you waved your phone around to the whole studio.
Exactly. We took that kind of mentality and we just injected our personality, but also, what do people want, desire from a Spider-Man experience. So, it was really great as I remember probably around the end of the year, end of last year, someone wrote an article about the top things they want to see in Spider-Man. And they said they want to feel like an Insomniac game. So I think that's the thing we've been really layering on in this last year is to have that, it feels like an Insomniac game as much as it does a Spider-Man game.
And I love this traversal, I mean, just the fluidity of just moving over great distances very quickly. It looks like a lot of fun just moving around, and that's when you know you've got a great game.
Okay, so so how I kind of said like experimenting, but like sometimes, I mean, game development, we're in meetings a lot, and then sometimes you just need to like take a break. And what I used to find myself doing was just swinging around New York City. It was almost like therapeutic. It's just kind of like when I play other games, I just walking or running or even taking a car. It feels so more natural now just to swing around like Spider-Man. So it's definitely one of those things that has that, again, just like combat, that pick and play feel. But we want players to have a level of mastery as they play and get
What
better.
was that? Hold on a second.
Okay.
Very interesting what you're saying there.
So like I said, so Adam showed off, I think he showed off the tripwire, or it's basically a gadget that you can either attach to a piece of geometry and the enemies walk by, they'll get like grabbed and sucked back, but you can also attach it to an enemy, and if an enemy walks by, they kind of slam into each other.
That is amazing. This is so cool. What's this focus meter about?
Yeah, so the focus meters basically, there's kind of a risk reward. As you build focus, you can use it to heal.
Sid's having a religious
It just looks incredible.
Okay, thank you. The team works really, really hard on it. Really, really hard.
Clearly.
And the idea is the focus is kind of a way to, it's a risk reward. Like I said, you can either heal yourself, or you can kind of, if you fill up the bar a certain way, you can actually pull off a finishing move. So, you know, as you play the game, you can kind of say, well, do I want to maybe heal myself real quick, or do I want to wait for that really extravagant move to kind of take the guy out instantly?
Got it.
Brian, a question for you is, obviously Spidey has, with his experience being under the mask for so many years now,
Yep,
in
8
your
years.
story,
Yeah.
8 years. Thank you. You got to be precise.
I got it. One of the first questions I get is like, is it an origin story? I'm like, no. That was like, after we decided that the webs were definitely attached to the buildings, we decided it's not going to be an origin story.
But you know, back to the combat, I mean, Spidey's experience, he has access to a lot of different techniques and technologies. How do you balance out his experience with the fact that you don't want to overwhelm a player with options, right? You want to make it approachable.
You know, I really, that comes down to our combat team, our traversal team.
Like
and
this guy
our
right
designers,
here.
like Adam, and really going, okay, you know, kind of handing that stuff out over the course of the game, you know, finding those right spots where you kind of, okay, we're going to teach you how to punch and how to kick and how to punch guys up in the air and use your webs. But then we layer on things like gadgets and then the suits and the suit powers. And it's kind of giving over time. If we just, you know, one thing with something like E3, you know, we want you to feel great, right? But there's a lot to learn really quickly. So just, you know, normal course development, we kind of find those spots in the game where it makes most sense to teach those mechanics. And then as the game goes on, we want you to master those because the game's only going to get harder.
Yeah, absolutely. Sid,
That's
what do you
great.
think?
I got to say, this game is
Beautiful,
looking
right?
absolutely gorgeous. This is, I mean, this is just, I mean, it was looking spectacular to begin with, but this is on a totally different level. And
Oh,
I can
man,
just
we're
see
seeing
that
so much.
I can see that polish, though. That's the thing, and that's what comes out in that final few months of development.
Yeah, I mean, if you guys watched the press conference, right?
Sure.
You saw all those games, those first-party games, and they all have a level of polish. And to be in a press conference with the likes of a Naughty Dog, a Sucker Punch, Kojima Productions, we are very honored to be, and we know there's a certain level of polish that people expect from a PlayStation game, especially a first-party game. So we want to be considered right up there.
Well,
and not to mention also from the Marvel, you know, Marvel fans
course.
expect to have that perfect experience.
Of course.
May I just ask real quickly, you know, as we're starting to wind down here, from a personal perspective, I mean, what's it like for you and for the team to be able to kind of look up at the big screen and see your game after all that time? How does that work?
I'm known as a crier, so it takes a lot for me not to get choked up. Like right now, they're playing the theme song to the game in the background as we're sitting here, and I mean, this is an amazing industry, and to be part of it is one thing, but to work on something you truly love and something that when you were a little kid thinking, oh my God, could I ever work on a Spider-Man game, let alone be in video games, is just absolutely surreal. I use that word a lot when I describe working on this game, and to work with a group like Sony and work with Marvel, and that feeling is felt by so many Insomniacs. So we couldn't be prouder, and the support we've gotten across the board, not only from Sony, Marvel, but also the fans, has been spectacular.
Brian, it just looks incredible. I mean, there's no other word for it. And
you're flabbergasted.
I really am. It's stunning. I mean, just look at that. How can you not be blown away by that? But we do have a limited amount of time here, Brian. You're an industry veteran. You've been in the industry for a long time. I know this is a lifelong dream for you working on this game. And I want to thank you and Insomniac for making it.
Thank you for having us.
And for coming by as well.
Spider-Man was so awesome that it broke my mic, and I have to use the stick mic now.
I thought you just wanted to look different from all of us.
Yeah, I just wanted to stand out a little bit.
Yeah.
But you know, Sid, actually, I think a little earlier, we were able to maybe get some footage of some of the amazing experiential stuff that's going on with Spider-Man. Right?
I mean, there really is something incredible going on here at this PlayStation E3 showcase. I mean, it's on a scale and a scope that we have just never seen before. And so we have people here, they're playing the game. We have a lot of hands-on sessions for folks that are here for the showcase. And just the game looks great, but I just love the way this whole. Oh, I know that. I know her.
Oh, hi. There's familiar faces popping up on the stream.
But I mean, it's a great event here, and it's just I wish we could get everybody in here to try this out and to just see what has been sort of constructed with Spider-Man and with actually another game we're about to talk about.
Yeah, we're about to talk about Ghost of Tsushima.
Why don't you? Yeah, Ghost of Tsushima. Yeah,
we have some. We sneakily snuck on a few amazing people onto our program as a helicopter goes by to mark this amazing moment. Nate Fox and Jason Connell to my left and Nate Fox. Gentlemen, welcome. Thank you so much for coming over.
Yeah, absolutely.
Thanks for having us.
It's really good for you to be here, and I'm so glad you're able to